Welcome to another edition of Coinomi Connect AMA. Join host Duane and the Bells Coin team as they dive into everything crypto. This conversation was recorded live on X Spaces on November 5th, 2025. Please note, the views and opinions expressed in this AMA do not necessarily represent those of Coinomi Wallet and should not be considered financial advice. Always do your own research on the projects discussed. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. Now, let's get started. Enjoy.
Okay, I think we're good to go. So Adam, Sawyer, you ready? Okay, hello and good day to everyone here and welcome to Coinomi Connect with Bells Coin. So I guess I'm going to start it off with an introduction by introducing our esteemed guest for today. We got Adam and Sawyer. How are you guys doing today? And welcome to the show.
Great, man. Appreciate you having us up. Really psyched about, Coinomi, including Bells in the wallet, was obviously, the community was really psyched about that. People have been talking about it for probably over a year. A lot of users of your wallet, and we're really excited to be in it and just be a part of, the Coinomi ecosystem.
Yes, I have to say you have quite a crazy coin behind you guys after reading about the history, and, it's one of the few, especially meme coins, that has the same kind of history that you got with Bells coin. But I guess the best way to get started, Adam, maybe you can tell us an introduction about, the team and maybe the project itself as well.
Yeah, really. I mean, the team is basically a loose group of kind of believers in Bells coin. There's definitely no specific team, behind it. It was originally, Bells coin was originally launched by Billy Marcus back in 2013. So Billy Marcus, anybody who's listening doesn't know, was the founder of Dogecoin. So his claim to fame is launching Dogecoin. Bells coin is actually his first project. He launched Bells coin a few days before Dogecoin. Back in 2013. It was the one he kind of tried first, was playing around, thought it was a fun idea to, make a meme coin, what we now call a meme coin. He was just playing around with it, make a blockchain for gaming assets. He was a big fan of Nintendo and thought, well, let me do a coin. Let me come up with a coin and a blockchain to kind of celebrate the game Animal Crossing for Nintendo. And so he made Bells coin and actually put the word Nintendo in the first block of Bells coin. And so that was his first experiment really in crypto. And about a week later, he actually got with Jackson Palmer and actually launched Dogecoin. And obviously Dogecoin is runaway success, second most popular blockchain on earth. Bells coin faded away. And Luke Wright and I kind of heard about Bells coin at the end of, I guess it was over 2 years ago now, heard about it and was like, oh my God, he actually did another coin. And we relaunched the chain, basically on Dogecoin's kind of birthday. That was the first time I heard about Bells coin. So we brought the chain back to life. And so here it is today. And we've been through some crazy stuff with the chain, and we can get into all those kind of details of how it's a really superior kind of script mine coin now. But we've been through some trials and tribulations over the almost 3 years now since Bells coin has been brought back. But that's the core kind of story of Bells coin, is that it has this really unique history and tie to Doge, and they both share the same Genesis block. Like if you look at the Genesis block of Doge, it actually says Nintendo because Doge was actually a fork of Bells coin. So it's got that cool little piece of history, which makes it the most attractive for us. It's just the reason why, we have some hardcore fans and why the people listening and in this space right now kind of love Bells coin, even through all the craziness.
That is a huge connection. Not just being one of, a fork of Dogecoin, but being made by the actual creator of Dogecoin is huge. I'm sure not a lot of people will also think of any meme coins that was created in, I guess, more than a decade ago that is still alive today. When I say alive, we're still doing, there's still volume, basically. It's not a totally dead coin. So the
Yeah,
amount,
we're talking about it, right? And I mean, it's funny to think about it. And now we've had, Bell's Coin, us bringing back Bell's Coin, kind of kicked off this like bringing back a lot of these old, dino coins as they're called now. We kind of kicked off that renaissance. We were the first one to kind of bring Bell's Coin back, was kind of the first one. And I see like Fairbricks in the audience and all these kind of other coins, Lucky Coin and all these ones, kind of came back based on the, Bell's being the first to kind of come back. I think Bell's does have the coolest story. Obviously, the tie to Dogecoin is, incredible. And, yeah, we've improved the chain thanks to YAR so much over the last, almost 3 years now that it's completely different, right? It's like, it's an incredible, layer one with, I think we're back again on the top, number of NFTs on the chain. I don't even know how many hundreds of millions we have now. It's a very performant script blockchain now. And obviously we're merge mined with Litecoin and Doge. And so there's all this security. There's a lot of great things to talk about, that make Bells really special.
yeah, absolutely. But, we know at this time and age of, just in the Web3 world, lots of CTOs or community, takeovers, but you guys did something different with Bell's Coin. Not only did you just revive, people buying it, selling, or just trading it in general, but you actually put some use into it. I think that's what makes it really special. But I'm really curious, how were you able to revive a coin that is basically older than Dogecoin? It's a meme coin. Like, what steps did you get into that?
Yeah. I mean, basically when I found the original post, from, or the post it was basically on Dogecoin's birthday. Um, and somebody actually, a friend of mine sent it to me and was like, "Hey, did you know that Billy had this coin before Doge called Bells?" I was like, "I have no idea, never heard of it." And I went down the rabbit hole, and that's when I actually contacted, Luke Wright, who's a friend of mine, really, really awesome, developer, miner of coins and stuff, and was like, "Hey man, is there any chance this thing is either still running or we can start it up?" And I sent him the, old Bitcoin Talk forum, where there was a link to basically a Google Drive where you could download it and run the original code. And Luke, being the, gigabrain he is, was able to get it up and running. Actually just restarted the chain from scratch from that original file. And, a week later or so, when I actually put the post out that went viral, kind of announcing, "Hey man, we got the chain back running again." Um, that original link to the Google Drive, in about, I don't know, maybe a day or two, got taken down by Google. I mean, with so many people were hitting it, got taken down. But, within 12 hours, it went from literally you could just mine Bell's Coin on your laptop to whole, like, hundreds of script machines, professional mining rigs were mining Bell's Coin literally within like 12 hours. It went absolutely crazy. It's still, I think, the most viral post I ever made on X. It just caught so many people like, wow, this is really cool that there's this tie to Billy and tie to Dogecoin. And yeah, it just went crazy. But since then, we just had so many problems with the chain because it's literally you're working on like 2013 tech. Just not suitable, for today's environment, right? I mean, it was literally it was like Bitcoin, old Bitcoin wallet where you were mining using the wallet, like that sort of thing. And we had so many challenges with the chain literally like not working. We were, there were like whole days where we couldn't even mine a block, because the, hashing algorithm was so screwed up and stuff. So just so many technical challenges. And I'll let Yar kind of speak to that a little bit about how we were able to, or he was really able to lead the charge to, bring Bells into the, current world. Maybe Yar, you want to speak on that a little bit?
Okay. Jar Sawyer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Jordan.
I'm really curious about this story and how you were able to revive this. So get to tell us more about that.
So I found, basically I found about Bell's Coin by reading the Adams post, on X. And I came to Discord and I looked into the way it's been implemented. I checked the source code and I was like, wow, how does it even work? Yeah, you see, I'm on Linux. I'm not on Windows. So my first challenge was just to run this code. So at first I ran it in simulator, but then I have decided to compile it, and this is how I got into all this story. So I was able to run the first Docker image for Linux, and I was trying to connect the pool, and that's when I saw that this is basically something ancient, like something from a museum, because the nodes, they were finding each other by connecting to IRC server, like probably some of you may remember, like MIRC, yeah? So there was a channel there with all the nodes. So it was like a little bit crazy. So then we have talked to other devs who were in Discord, and we have decided that we should basically take a Dogecoin core, the current Dogecoin core, and try to adapt it for bells. So it took us few days. The version, it was messy because many people were posting on GitHub different things. Some of them were professionals, some were not. So it was a mess, but it worked out in the end. And this is how we've got Bellscoin version 2, how we call it. It wasn't supported. It wasn't supporting merge mining. So basically, miners had to pay with electricity to get those Bells coins. And this is when Adam was already telling, we didn't have blocks for a day. I don't remember if it was like we hadn't blocks for a day, but certainly for 10 hours or something like this, because the hash rate was fluctuating like crazy, and the difficulty. Also, Bellscoin at this point had like a kind of a casino, probably something like this, because it was random reward for the block. You could get like 5 Bells coins or 100 Bells coins or 10,000 Bells coins. So miners were hunting this, adding the hash rate, adding the machines, and at some point, it even became that Bells coin was taking the hash rate from Dogecoin and Litecoin itself, like almost 30% of the hash rate. So large pools added us, like F2Pool, VIBTC, and Pool. They all have added Bellscoin and started mining. Yeah, but the hash rate, it wasn't stable. And we have decided to move forward, and we have decided to implement merged mining. So it took us some time, and by the block 100,044, it was merged mined with Dogecoin. That's when our hash rate became even with Doge and LTC, and block production became stable. So since then, Bellscoin is running stable and pretty much very good. Then we had another update. We have enabled Taproot. We had enabled SegWit. We basically took the latest at that point version of the Bitcoin and adapted it for running Bellscoin. So basically, we currently have probably one of the most advanced blockchains in script ecosystem, second maybe only to Litecoin.
Gotta hand it to you. So you basically revive a prehistoric fossil to be usable in today's crypto era. Kind of similar for all you Nintendo Pokemon fans there, like reviving a fossil to turn it back to a Pokemon. And someone can get that reference, but that's basically the kind of tech and the kind of knowledge that you got here to be able to revive it. And one thing that we keep mentioning here is the mining way of Bellscoin, because it can be merge mined with Litecoin and Dogecoin, and those are two huge coins. I guess people would have all heard about those two, but for people like me who's not well versed in mining in general, can you tell us how does that work and why is it so important?
Well, I'll give you like the smooth brain version, right? That most people will understand. I mean, basically, if you have a mining rig, one of those boxes, um, and you plug it into mine, when you're mining the script ecosystem, you're throwing out like a lottery ticket to try and guess a number. And if you guess right, you get not only Litecoin, but Doge, and then Bells, and then every other script coin that's in that ecosystem. So with the same machine, you're basically guessing, and when you win a block, you're winning it for all the blockchains. This is a simple way. It's more complex than that, but basically that's what it is. So when you get rewarded, you're not only getting rewarded with Litecoin, but you're also getting a bit of Doge and a bit of Bells and a bit of all the other tokens that are part of that script ecosystem. So for miners, what we've seen over the last, really 2.5, 3 years since Bells was kind of brought back was the amount of hash rate on the script ecosystem has absolutely exploded. It's literally gone exponential. And what's happened is just the money for mining has been so great in the script ecosystem because you're getting all of these tokens that more miners have entered the space, right? So more people have bought those mining equipment, right? So more people are mining on script. So the hash rate, the number of, machines actually guessing those numbers has just gone up tremendously. And so what that does is it just provides this incredible layer of security for the entire network. The reality is the script mining ecosystem is the second most secure blockchain network on earth after Bitcoin. So for a small, coin like blockchain like Bells, it's incredible to be a part of this ecosystem, right? There's no way on earth as a separate blockchain we could ever have this sort of level of security by itself, right? But because we're part of script, we get that security because we're providing value in that, miners earn a little bit of bells, but we're also, benefiting from being in the system with Doge and Litecoin, the two big dogs, right? So it's been fantastic. And I think now I don't even know how many script coins there are, 15 or 20 script coins in the ecosystem where, if you're mining, you're just getting paid all over the place. And it provides this real level of security for miners because if Dogecoin goes down, well, Litecoin maybe went up. And if Litecoin goes down, well, maybe Doge and the other ones went up. And so from a revenue stream, it just provides a much, much greater revenue stream for these miners. So it's just very attractive.
Definitely. I think what's really great is that, you being mentioned alongside Doge and Litecoin is already a huge win for Bells in general because it's.
Oh man, it's incredible. Yeah, and the reality is over the last couple of years, I think, one of the things Bells helped do was bring this kind of script ecosystem together a bit more. I mean, if you go back 3 years or so, even 4 years, there wasn't this, buddy relationship with Litecoin and Dogecoin on the timeline where they tweeted each other and joke with each other. That didn't happen 4 years ago or 3 years ago even, right? But Bells came in, and I tip the hat to our community. We kind of were active and positive with these, giant, coins and giant, blockchains. And they, thanks in a lot of ways to the Litecoin intern who is amazing, was really supportive of Bells and just, gave us a hand up, really. And it's been really, really positive. And I think the script ecosystem in general, sure, there's a little bit of tribalism still, of course. My coins are the best coins, of course. That's human nature. But in general, the script ecosystem is now just like, no. We're in this. We can be in this together, still believe in, still have our core beliefs on what we think is the best money or, the funniest meme coin, right? But kind of support the entire ecosystem. I think it's been a super, super positive thing for, all the script coins.
Yeah, and you know what? Looking up Bell's coin, one of the things that I come across are the terms that I came across are Bell 20 and Bellinos. Can you explain to me or us what are those for people who are new to Bell's coin?
Sure. Well, I mean, basically, if you were part of Ordinals and the Ordinals explosion on Bitcoin, at the end of, what was it, 2023 or whatever, or the beginning of 2023. Basically that moved to almost every blockchain, right? People tried to do it on other chains. And the first one it actually went to was Litecoin. Most people don't realize the first one actually my buddy Luke, who helped bring back Bells, was really instrumental in getting the first inscriptions on Litecoin. And then they moved to Dogecoin, Doginals and whatever, Doge 20s or whatever. So Bell's coin was able to very quickly get this kind of put into the chain and the ability to launch tokens on the chain in the same way that you would on Bitcoin. The beauty of Bells is that it's near free though, right? And so we've had, I actually just checked, we have over 276 million inscriptions, NFTs, and Bell 20s on the chain right now. So I think by far the largest of any blockchain. So it's just one of the benefits of Bells being, relatively fast, large block sizes, and very inexpensive still, is that, yeah, if you want to do NFT projects or launch tokens and stuff, you can do it on Bells very, very inexpensively. So it's just a fun thing for our community to be able to play around with and have that little, feather in our cap that we have, the most inscriptions of any chain. And so, yeah, it's just a fun thing to have and sets us up for, if gaming ever really does come back, or does come, I should say, to blockchains, Bells is actually in a really cool position. Like, somebody could do, fast, light, and cheap NFTs on Bells coin. And so who knows, maybe Billy's vision, when he launched Bells coin back in 2013, maybe it eventually comes true. Wouldn't that be funny, right? And so,
Being connected to Nintendo too, in some way.
yeah, we bring Nintendo, Nintendo, if they don't sue us first, maybe they actually bring gaming onto the Bells coin blockchain. That would be amazing. Who knows? The universe has a funny way of making things happen. But it's here. And so people can play around and do crazy stuff on Bells coin for basically free.
Yeah, and to Nintendo, if anyone's listening, it's Nintendo. Nintendo.
Nintendo, as we say, Nintendo's gonna sue us. I had nothing to do with Bells coin. I don't know anything about Bells coin, right? Yeah, it's pretty funny. I think, it is one of the cool things for sure about Bells coin is this tie to Nintendo. And that's only because of Billy. And it ties it not only to Bells coin, but also to Dogecoin. And it's funny because like I was on a podcast being interviewed by a Litecoiner, and I looked over his shoulder and behind him, he had this, really cool, like piece of art, and the art had, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and Bitcoin, and each of their, initial blocks, what it says in each one of those blocks, right? And so, in Bitcoin, it's Chancellor on the brink of bailout and so on and so forth. And in Dogecoin, it's Nintendo. And I'm talking with him on the show and we got into it and I said, oh yeah, well, it's cool, Nintendo. And he didn't actually, and most Litecoiners or most Dogecoiners don't actually know why that's there. They're not even sure why it's there. And it wasn't until kind of Bell's coin came back that a lot of, these Dogecoiners learned like, oh wow. It was actually a fork of Bells. Wow, that's really cool. And we've had this really cool connection point with a lot of Doge OGs who are like, wow, that's really cool. That there's this kind of connection with Bells coin, and learning that little bit of history is really awesome.
Absolutely. So once again, if you guys are from Nintendo, Billy Marcus is the creator. It's not Adam.
Sue Billy, not Adam.
Yeah, but speaking of those kind of developments, something that's interesting about Bell's coin is that, it has become more of a playground for artists too. As you mentioned, NFTs and stuff like that. So how did that creative movement start within the community?
Man, so much of this stuff, and that's why I love still being in the Bells coin community, because people do stuff. And generally the community is really supportive of artists and just creative people of just doing stuff. Like we had a guy I don't know, somebody came up with the idea, man, it'd be really cool if we had paper wallets where we could give away Bell's coin. And I think we were talking about it, 3 or 4 weeks ago on a space. Oh, it'd be cool just to be able to give away, paper wallets like the Bitcoiners did back, 10 years ago. And, bro, the dude just built it, right? He just built it. It's like live. You can go do it now, right? And I just think that sort of creativity, on a community, perspective where it's not some team running stuff. It's just dudes doing stuff because they want to. You can't replicate that. And there's no, money usually doesn't buy that. It's more just like a belief in something. And Bellscoin has that. I mean, even Coinomi, right? Like, I didn't instigate that. Somebody in the community was like, man, I want to be in Coinomi. And I'm like, go for it, man. Do it. Like, please. Yeah. And somebody, got us that way. That's the way we've gotten literally everything from exchange listings, to wallets or infrastructure, whatever, has all been completely driven by individuals who just did it because they wanted to do it and do something impactful. And I think that's the core strength. So even though like Bell's coin is in the lowest of low market caps, like ever, like it's the down bad, terrible, never going to recover stage. I'm actually kind of like amazingly comfortable because I know there's like 30 to 50 guys who are just like, I don't care. I'm here and I'll keep doing my thing and keep, picking up a little Bell's coin here and there. And I think that's really, really unusual and special. And so, yeah, that makes me bullish for a Bell's coin.
I definitely respect that take because I've been to several AMAs or spaces, even though I'm seeing their coin being down at the lowest as you mentioned it. They're saying, oh, we're expecting a bounce maybe tomorrow, a few days soon, but it's those kind of people. But the things that are bullish for me in those kind of coins is the activity of the people behind them. I mean, look at you. You're still here doing, talking about Bell's coin, despite openly saying that it's not in the best state of market right now, but you're still working because, the faith and the belief in the project itself is there. And that is,
I mean, for me, it's like the narrative is so great. It's so awesome. That initial narrative is so awesome that I look at it as meme coins always run cycles. And we obviously we had the huge meme coin cycle, this cycle, but every crypto cycle has had a meme coin cycle. And I know it's going to happen again. And yes, there will be brand new meme coins, 100%.
yes,
But there's also, people will also look for real good opportunities with really cool narratives. And I just know now that Bell's coin has this like longevity where we're going to be here next cycle. And even if we have people come in and out and leave the community and whatever, they'll come back, and we'll get new people. And the narrative is so cool and interesting that the next group of people will run with this and the run will be spectacular. And that's the way I just look at it. And, so I'm comfy and I'm probably going to buy more and I might buy the whole chain if it drops to 2 cents. Who knows? We'll see.
That's kind of buy the entire chain. But you know what? The thing about Bell's coin or any other meme coin, I mean, we're not giving financial advice here for anyone, but how many meme coins do you know that dates back at 2013, more than a decade ago, that was founded by the very same person who created Dogecoin? That narrative alone is unbreakable. It's hard to beat that kind of narrative. So I guess, as you mentioned earlier, Adam, it comes in cycles. Maybe right now it's not doing the best, but it's highly likely at some point that it will once again be revived. I mean, same time that you were able to revive it after 10 years, it's going to be a lot faster now, knowing that you guys have an active community backing Bell's coin. And now with the creative, with the NFTs and artists coming together, giving more value and more flexibility in terms of what other things can Bell's coin provide. And something that you have in the NFT side is the Suit Boy Billy collection. Can you tell us more about the story behind that project?
Yeah. Just basically, again, it was one of these ones, community member, was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing, an NFT collection and donating, almost all of the sales to Billy Marcus. And I was like, it's an amazing idea. that one, I was like, yes, do it, but again, the dude did it. He just did it all himself. And I think he donated, if I'm correct, it was like 100 or 110,000 Bell's coin to Billy. Which of course, the community went crazy for because Billy did interact, with the community. And Billy has been at various times really cool with the community. I mean, Billy always, Billy's a little bit jaded, meaning he knows that people who are trying to push Bell's coin want to make money, right? Obviously they want Bells to go up. And so everybody will, hey, talk about Bells and try to get him to say something. And he's been, over the years, he's been pretty cool about interacting with us. He came into the Discord right after kind of the relaunch. He came back in to the Discord and chatted with us and has interacted quite a bit. And when, Soup Boy Billy's, launched and all that Bells was donated to him, he was super cool,
I can only imagine how many green candles went up for doing that Discord chat. Yeah.
As far as I know, he still holds it. I don't think he sold out. Bell's coin did have a nice run. We ran up to,
it's still running.
I think we touched maybe 100 million, at the peak. But Billy didn't sell, so he still got his Bells. And, we'll see. I mean, I doubt Bells is going to run this cycle. It seems like meme coins are completely dead, but stranger things have happened. And, I feels like, if we need to wait another 3-4 years, whatever, for a nice run, awesome. I don't know. It's at this point, it's like I think we have a core group of holders who are just, comfy. Of course, everybody wants number to go up, but at the same time, we're kind of like, well, whatever. It's at a $6 million market cap. Okay. Well, I could throw $100 in and get a substantial kind of little supply. Right. And so there's that cool thing too, where you just get people who, they're not rich, right? They don't have tons of money, but they can put $1,000 into it and just hold it for years. And, this is just, you get this army of people. And look, that's what happened with XRP, man. It's just like an army of people held this stuff for a decade, right? And then you get rich. And that, stranger things have happened in crypto, right? Stranger things have happened. And I think Bell's.
Remember Da Vinci Jeremy begging people to buy one Bitcoin for $1?
I mean, look, just to give you a frame of like some of the crazy, awesome people we have in this community, like Winston just joined. Dude, this guy prints out signs. If you look on the Bells, I think Bells might have tweeted it out. He prints out signs and they're basically putting signs all around Florida with like a QR code Bells coin thing, like at intersections and banks and, just like crazy stuff, like boots on the ground, guerrilla warfare in the meme coin space. Like, I don't see anybody doing stuff like that. Like, that's only Bells coin, right? It's insane. It may be a bit retarded, but that's the way we do it. Like, we're going to do that. And who knows, man? Who knows? I wouldn't bet against this.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be in this meme coin thing, you need to think outside of the box. Outside, when CoinGecko, when CMC.
Yeah. Yeah, man, exactly. I mean, we've done that. I mean, we did raise funds and we got on exchanges and did that whole thing. And spent an incredible amount of money. Money I would have never done, but the community wanted it and we got it done. And, and we had a good run, and now we're kind of we're set up for another run. But when that happens, who knows, man? This, maybe never, right? But we're here.
I was going to ask you earlier if Billy at some point interacted with Bell's coin, and you just confirmed it right now. And he
totally.
Also,
he's totally literally dozens of times he's interacted with us. So yeah, he's been pretty cool. Although everybody wants more, right? But that's like with almost any famous person. You just everybody wants him. Oh, tweet again about us, Billy. Please tweet again about us. It's like, come on, man. But he's a pretty cool guy. But, he realizes is look, man, you get me to tweet about it. You're basically using me, for the microphone. And, I mean, people still push it and still get on him, but I don't,
But
It's
knowing
not.
Billy and the kind of, from where he's coming from, I'm pretty sure he's not going to sell Bill's coin because this is basically his baby. He
I hope
started.
so. Yeah. I mean, right? I hope he doesn't sell. We were joking. I don't know when Bells was really running, and we're like, man, is he going to sell it? Because there was a time, I don't know, Bells ran up to, I don't know, $1.75. So he had a couple $100,000 in his wallet, right? And I was like, maybe he would sell. And you know what? Maybe it'd be the best thing. If he sold, it'd be a great story, especially if he sold at the bottom, you know, he sold for not even a used Honda Civic. Like when he sold his Doge, it would be like, he sold for a bicycle or something. That would be amazing. Great story. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see about Billy. Who knows? I think with anything, if Bells goes to, $1 billion or something and Billy has $1 million in his wallet, he may just talk about Bell's coin again. We'll see.
And it's possible, definitely, with a coin like this. It's going to be funny if he actually ends up buying some pizzas by selling Bell's coin.
Bro, you never know, man. You never know.
Another part of blockchain history. And another thing that I wanted to touch on is Bell's coin recently activated Taproot and plans to add OP_cat. So what does these updates bring to the network?
Yar, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I will speak a couple of words. We didn't recently activate Taproot. We have Taproot for almost 2 years. So the Taproot is like, we are working on a Taproot. It's in there. It's heavily tested. It just works. Yeah. So, yeah, we are moving forward. We are activating. Basically, I'm just finishing the tests before pushing the release of the Bells coin version 3.1, which will support OpCat, OpCTV, Op check signature from stack, and Op internal key. So in Bitcoin, they basically speak about these opcodes. They want to activate it. There is a certain group that wants to activate it, and it will enable many, many interesting things, like covenants, like vaults, very cool technology, basically. So, also it will provide a possibility for much more effective Lightning Network. We will certainly launch a Lightning Network over Bells coin when the time comes. Technically, it's totally feasible right now, but with the new opcodes, it will be much more advanced. So basically, when we launch the Bells coin 3.1, we are going to have on the mainnet what Bitcoin only dreams about right now, like what they are going to have, like probably in a couple of years only, because things are taking time to activate on Bitcoin. So that's it. And also, once we activate those opcodes, the next step for us will be to add zero knowledge proofs to Bells coin, which, among other things like layer 2 integrations, enable privacy. So that's it.
Hey, Yar, is that update, is that a soft fork or is that a hard fork, when that update happens?
This update is going to be a soft fork, not a hard fork. We don't need a hard fork anymore. We had a hard fork with moving to merged mining, yeah, just like the Dogecoin had. But this update is a soft fork, so basically we'll be able to still run the older version of Bells.
So I think that's the thing about Bells coin. We're not just waiting for a cycle to happen. We're not just waiting for Elon to tweet about Bells to wait for that pump. We're actually doing they're actually doing some developments in the back end, making sure that it's going to be running not just as a meme, but also some technicalities behind it. And you know what? Coming from a coin or a project, I keep mentioning it for over a decade ago, I think it will be, it will be nostalgic for a lot of people. And I think that's, I guess, an advantage you can take on compared to other meme projects. So how do you think will Bell's coin balance nostalgia, especially with technological advances?
Yeah, it's so funny. I don't really know. I don't have the answer. I think in a lot of ways, I've learned that building is actually bearish. Like that saying is somewhat true. It's stupid, but it is somewhat true. Like anything we've done, whether it's a new release, merge mining, getting exchanges, like all the dozens of things that people have taken on in the Bells coin space and then, actually done these amazing things. At the end of the day, it's never really enough. The only thing people really, really care about is number go up, right? And so at the core, that's what it's all about. And nothing drives that more than cool narrative and the opportunity for people to make money. That said, what Yar is doing is like, it's unbelievable, that him and his team are able to do this, for literally no pay. I mean, literally just doing it. Like, obviously he wants to make money at some point, but it's like literally doing all of this because he's an awesome dude is incredible. And it's unbelievably like the synergy that he came into Bell's coin, the luck behind that. Man, we're just like the luckiest coin on earth, man. Like screw lucky coin. We're the fucking luckiest because nobody has like this level of dev who can do this sort of stuff. It's incredible, man. Like even merge mining, like just doing the merge mining thing, bro, it's like the lift to do that on a technical level is spectacular. And Yar pulled it off like butter, like literally zero problems with it. It's absolutely incredible. So hat tip to Yar as always, man.
Yar, the moment I read your name, I know you're going to be an awesome dude. I thought, Yar Sawyer. That's like a catchy name that I don't usually hear. But yeah, given the technological advancements of Bell's coin that we talk about here, it definitely shows. It's not just, Adam talking about how good you are without any proof or backing, but, it shows in the coin itself. And you know what? You've mentioned here and there about the developments of Bell's coin, not just in the back end of things, in the marketing and stuff like that, but in general. What's next for the Bell's coin community and ecosystem? And do you have any upcoming or current milestones or goals that the audience should look forward to?
Well, getting listed on Coinomi Wallet, I mean, that's the big one, right? You see how we've already moved on? We've already moved on from this like awesome thing. It is kind of funny though. Like that was a big deal, right? We actually did get a community member also, got us like Alchemy Pay. So like if you go to bellscoin.com, you can click the big buy bells button and literally just buy bells, with a credit card and put it in your Coinomi wallet or whatever. These type of things are awesome. And I think in a lot of ways, it's just a foundational, we're just building this like foundation for when, for a hopeful future that someday when it really pops off, all these pieces are in place for easy onboarding, easy use, so I can tell my brother, hey, just go get a Coinomi wallet. It's in the app store. Go get it. And I can send you some bells, right? So when that day comes of like, mass attention event, it's just really easy. And, so yeah, I think just stuff like that. Obviously what Yar's building with all the different opcodes, provide a really interesting environment for builders. But we also know how hard it is to attract builders and how, just if you look at the ordinal space and what took place on Bitcoin, all that building, other than a couple of great wallets, over there that got built out, everything else went to zero, right? Everything else went away. So I just know how difficult it is to build like winning apps on blockchains. It's really, really difficult. So, will that happen on Bells? Who knows? I hope it does. And certainly Yar is supporting building out the infrastructure to facilitate it if somebody does want to build over here. But I just know how difficult that is in crypto, man. So I don't know. You just keep moving forward, man. In my view, you keep moving forward. We have awesome people. I see like Nook Da Vinci in the crowd. He was the one I was telling you about who made the, paper wallets, stuff like that. Like the paper wallets, now that he built that, like, the next Bitcoin conference, I know what I'm giving away at the next Bitcoin conference, right? I'm going to be onboarding some people with paper wallets, right? And so it's like, you don't know what the thing's going to hit that's going to hit. And maybe I'm giving out the paper wallets and I run into Michael Saylor and we convince Michael Saylor that Bell's Coin's the next Bitcoin, right? Who knows, man? But just ridiculous stuff like that. You just never know how kind of the universe is going to work in your favor. So I just appreciate the people we have in the community for keeping moving the ball forward and just trying different things and keep working and getting Coinomi wallet. So now we have like the easiest onboarding experience in crypto and just who knows, just getting ready for that next big attention event and we're going to be ready.
Yes, we're absolutely thrilled to have you as well here in Coinomi. I mean, you guys are older than Coinomi. We got it 2014 and Bellscoin is like 2013. So it's good to have from one OG project to another. It's amazing to have you here and hopefully we get that cycle and we keep those developments going. And who knows what the future has in store for us. I mean, what Da Vinci has done has been part of Web3 Bitcoin history. And who knows what Adam and ER will be doing something crazy that will hopefully be also part of Web3 history. So thank you guys for just listening in and tuning in. And of course, we hope you also follow us in all of our socials at Coinomi. If not, then at Bell's Coins as well. So Adam, Yar Sawyer, thank you so much. Maybe you have any final words before we end this spaces. Feel free to do so now.
Hey man, I just really appreciate this. Great working with your team. You have a great team over there. Really appreciate the assistance and just super psyched to be part of the Coinomi ecosystem, man. Appreciate you.
And Yar, you have any anything else you would like to say?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you. Thank you for listening Bellcoin, for adding Bellcoin to Coinomi wallet. It's basically it's perfect. Because you see at Nintendo, we have the wallet which is Web3 extension, but people were really, really wanting to have something on mobile, something they can trust. And Coinomi is basically it's a synonym of trust. So people right now have where to store their bells on mobiles. That's perfect. Thank you again very much for this.
And thank you as well for those words. And today, right now, this is the end of the spaces for Coinomi Connect, this time with Bellscoin, and we'll hope to see you again at the next Coinomi Connect here at X. Goodbye, everyone.